I'm back. I am amazed that I'm doing another video here today. I got sidetracked with the Twitch show that I've been doing recently, and um, I'm gonna be ranking Amon Amarth's albums. Um, the beginner video I've kind of pushed back for a little bit because if you didn't know, Ailstorm's new album's coming out soon. I was planning on doing a ranking of them. I also have putting the Judas Priest one off again, but I'm going to be doing that one slowly because they have a lot of albums. Amon Amarth has 11 studio albums. I like all their albums. I don't despise any of them. I will listen to any of them and enjoy them. But there has to be a number 11 and there has to be a number 1. So there's same thing with Deicide. Someone left a comment that I put the Legion one too low. Um, just my opinion on it. Um, I don't I don't dislike Legion. I actually love that album, but it's just low because the other ones are a little bit better than that one. Number 11. Hopefully this one isn't like super popular. Oh, Surtur Rising, 2011 studio album. Is at number 11. The songs are just not as good as what's on the other albums. Wrath of the Norseman is awesome. That album is really good. The Aerials cover, I don't really care too much for that. Tox Taunt, Loke's Treachery Part 2 is good. War of the Gods is a little bit on the iffy side to start the album off. It would have been better to put Loke's Treachery as the number 1 track, or Wrath of the Norseman as the first track. I think it would have boosted the album a little bit. Just not as good as materials on the other albums. That one's a 6 out of 10. A little bit on the lower side. I still like the album. I listen to it off and on. Sometimes it's not one of the albums I find myself listening to too much. Number 10, or one of them I have a physical copy of because I really don't have too many physical. I have a few physical copies of Amon Amarth, which is number 10 is Versus the World. This thing is this album's good. It's a 8 out of 10. It's a jump. It's a big jump. Not really anything wrong with it. It's just I prefer other albums, and I had to make it somewhat even of where I put this. Death and Fire's good. Where Silent Gods Stand Guard is good. Bloodshed is amazing. Across the Rainbow Bridge, Down the Slopes of Death, 1,000 Years of Oppression. It's amazing, like Viking themed death metal. If you didn't know, that's what they do. They make all their albums about like Vikings and war and medieval war. It's great stuff. Number 9 is their newest album, Berserker. Fafner's Gold is good. Crack the Sky is one of my favorite ones on here. Shield Wall's good. The Raven's Flight's one of my favorite songs that Amon Amarth has ever done. Just that hard hitting riff. The Ironside song is amazing. Berserker at Stanford Bridge. And then just Skull and Haiti is a little bit like on the iffy side. It kind of gets a little boring at the bottom half of the album, like the bottom part of the album. It just hits you with hard hitting stuff immediately, and then just goes down to more slower, more boring things. This album would have definitely gotten higher if the bottom part of the album was as good as the front half of the album. Oh, and here's where I get a nasty comment again because well, if you just see when I hauled up. Number 8 is Fate of Norns. Probably gonna get some hate for this one, but this one's No, first, this one is 10 out of 10. Berserker was 8 out of 10. This one's 10 out of 10. I like everything on here, but there's just better albums, in my opinion. Um, my favorite one on here is The Pursuit of Vikings, Valkyrie's Ride, The Beheading of a King. Is that song is just so, like, you could feel the sadness in the song. It's amazing. It's an amazing song. They really know how to bring out that Viking theme towards the music and still have the brutal death growls, and you could still understand it with like vivid pictures. It's just really good. Where Death Seems to Dwell, an ancient sign of coming storm, is the first one on here. Starts the album off amazing. Nothing on here is bad. It's all good. And that's where we go to number 7. Number 7 is usually people's least favorite album, but I've gotten a liking to this album. I like everything on it, just like the other albums. The Crusher, their third album from the year 2000. Um, Risen from the Sea is good. As long as the Raven Flies, A Fury Divine, Annihilation of Hellfest, Releasing Surtur's Fire, Masters of War. Just, oh, that song is so good. If you never heard that song, go check that song out. Bastards of a Dying Breed is also really good. Like, I'm gonna recommend you to listen to their whole discography. Their whole discography is like amazing. Like, the this was like the band I discovered before I discovered death with the number 1 album. Um, I didn't tell that story, but I will when I get to the album. Number 6 is another one I have a copy of, which is The Avenger at number 6. 7 songs is, I think, their shortest album to date, and it's from 1999. The Legend of a Banished Man is the pinnacle of this band. The last with Pagan Blood, Bleed for Ancient Gods, Avenger, Goddess Sun, and Holy Horror, Metal Wrath. They had a little feud with Hammerfall at this time of releasing this album. It was little. I really don't know too much about it. I just thought I'd bring it up because it kind of fits with this album. It's just, I picked this one up on a blind buy because I really never heard of their old stuff, and I was like, just listen to this one. And yeah, I liked it. I really did like it. I liked it enough to be a number 6 and a 10 out of 10. Number 5 is another one I have on hand, a copy of, which is Twilight of the Thunder God, or their one that everybody listens to first. Not me, I listened to one of their other ones first. Twilight of the Thunder God, Free Will Sacrifice, Guardians of Asgard, Tattered Banners and Bloody Flags, classic stuff. This album is the one that kind of put them on the mainstream map and mostly got a lot of people into this band. I know a lot of people that hate their original stuff, but just like this album and the ones after that. I'm kind of like the opposite. I like their newer stuff and their older stuff. Um, this is another one that has the really clean vocals on it. You know, Avenger and the Crusher have really, 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 really bad like production vocals, but it just sounds like black metal vocals on it almost. Favorite one on here is The Hero, definitely. The Hero is definitely the best one on Twilight of the Thunder God. Guardians of Asgard is a good second. Number 4 is one I don't have on copy or on hand, is Deceiver of the Gods, their 2013 album. As Loke Falls, Deceiver of the Gods is like, that song is so good and melodic. Father of the Wolf, The Shapeshifter, Under Siege. Blood Eagle, if you don't know what that is, it's the old torture method with the ribs being pulled out your back. It's pretty bad. That's what I'm thinking it's about because that's what I got the picture of. One, Hell, which is not like Hell, it's Hel. Coming of the Tide and Warriors of the North. This album just has like vivid pictures. You could understand the vocals more because the vocals are cleaner than they've ever been on an Amon Amarth album besides the two newest ones. Um, just everything about this album is good. There's nothing bad about it. Um, yeah, it's all good. And number 3 is 2006's With Odin on Our Side. Valhalla Awaits Me. Starts off really good start to this. Well, really good start to the album. Ruins to My Memory. I like that one. Loke's Treachery Part 1. That started out the one that continued with Surtur Rising, which isn't as good as this one. With Odin on Our Side, the title track is damn good. Under the Northern Star. I love the melodic intro to this song. And Prediction of Warfare. Just perfection. This band has done perfection over the years on some of their albums. Like three of their albums are not perfection, and then 8 of them are perfection. And that'll bring us to number 3. Number 3 I have on hand, which a copy is their first debut album, which is Once Sent from the Golden Hall. God, I love this album, even though the vocals and the production is almost black metal-ish. Production is bad. Like, the production is pretty bad on this album, but it just adds more melodic tendencies to it, like the Victorious March. That song is awesome. Dragon's Flight Across the Waves. This is actually the album I've listened to the most out of any of their albums. Abandon, Amon Amarth, the title track, Once Sent from the Golden Hall. Friends of the Sun Cross, Ride for Vengeance. This album is amazing. This has some good tracks in it. And this edition also has a thing where they played the album live and in full from front to cover. Yeah, they played this album front to back on a live disc from 2008, December 28, 2008. I've listened to that so many times. And that brings us to number 1, or the best Amon Amarth album. The one that I got into first, John's Viking. Definitely. A lot of people don't like this album. I do not understand why. I think it is one of the, it starts out with First Kill, then goes out to Wanderer, which Wanderer has the best riff ever. On a Sea of Blood, One Against All, Raise Your Horns, which is awesome. The Way of the Viking, At Dawn's First Light, 1,000 Burning Arrows, which has a whole thing about how they have like a ceremony type thing in the song. It's pretty good. Vengeance Is My Name, a Dream That Can't Be, Dream That Cannot Be, featuring Doro Pesh from her solo stuff, and the Warlock, and Back on Northern Shores. The vocals are as clean as ever. The guitars are clean as ever. It's definitely a masterpiece in my opinion. And all the riffs are just done to perfection. It is definitely their best studio album. So yeah, that's how I rank Amon Amarth. Leave your feedback. I'm always up to listening to people's feedback. Yeah, yeah, just say I don't dislike any of these albums. I actually will listen to any of them at any time and enjoy them. Next one will be Judas Priest. Hopefully, I'll get to work on that one, as well as check out my Twitch channel. To find my Twitch channel, you'll have to come to my Instagram and Twitter pages. It's your boy Goldie on Twitch. I'm just gonna say it here. Why not? Why would I not? I do the WWE 2K, and then I do Grand Theft Auto sometimes on there. Like, so yeah. Hope you liked the video. I'll be back with the next video maybe next week. I'm kind of doing more stuff now. I've just gotten my schedule, just doing stuff that I think would be fun, and yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys liked it. Leave a comment. Check out my Twitter and Instagram. It's the same as the channel. And that's where I leave this video. Hope you guys liked it.